Hello students, Miss Lockhart here. We are going to make a really cool 3D paper construction flower bouquet. It's going to be really fun. Before we do that, we're going to need our pencil and our mixed media paper, which just means it's a little bit thicker than normal paper. And draw the first curved line down at the bottom of the page. Just a very small curve, not a deep curve, but just a kind of like a little happy face. And do two of them about 1 finger's length apart. Once you've done 2 curves, you can connect them with parallel lines that are vertical. Okay, now that we know where our vase is going to go, we can go ahead and add our stems. Creating 6 stems, so we'll have 6 flowers. You can go ahead and do the same. Now let's go right ahead and just start making our flowers from our construction paper pieces. Now I've picked out these 4 colors that I'm going to use today, and I'm going to use green for my stems. You may use whatever color you want for your stems and for your flowers. Be creative. Now I'm going to cut very thin slivers of paper that come to a point. And I'm going to need 6 of those. Some of them are curved, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind when I'm cutting to create shorter, curved stems. And you can see I'm doing them quite skinny. You can make your stems a little thicker if you'd like. You can use any glue that you have at home that's washable glue, and also get a scratch piece of paper that you can put glue onto. You see that? I put a little bit of glue down there, and I'm going to actually drag my long stems through the puddle of glue to cover the back. You can apply the glue however you would like. If it's easier for you to just do dots on the back of your stems, that is fine with me. And if you're using a glue stick, you can also just place your stem on top of the glue stick and kind of gently slide it over the top. I'm going to go ahead and put my glue through the little puddle, or my stem through the glue puddle. And I'm going to do this to the rest of my stems as well. And if it doesn't fit exactly on my pencil mark, that's fine, because I can always erase my pencil line. Do make sure your stems reach the vase, and they can even overlap the vase, and you can cut them right off, but they do need to reach the top of the vase. Okay, my stems are attached. And I'm going to make sure they all are in the vase. They are. Okay, and now I'm going to erase the pencil marks. Now don't erase your pencil marks if there's wet glue on top of the pencil. You're gonna just let that glue dry and then we can cover up the pencil line with maybe a leaf or something. But if you try to erase over glue, it's gonna get really messy. So just leave them there until the glue dries. Unless there isn't any glue on it, then go ahead and erase it. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start with my first flower. You can use anything you have at home to color with. I'm gonna be using oil pastels because I love the vibrancy of it and the bright colors. So I'm gonna be drawing with those. You can use crayons or markers, colored pencils. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a circle here. This is gonna turn into a 3D cone cup kind of flower. And cut out around your circle. Okay, now I'm going to put a cut in the middle of my circle, but not all the way through. It's just a cut right to about the middle of the circle. See, they're almost like a little Pac-Man. And then I'm gonna overlap the sides. See that? See how they're overlapping? And now when you turn it upright, you can see it looks like a cone. So I wanna glue that together in a cone shape. So I need to put some glue on the side there, and then overlap the other side on top of it, making sure that it's overlapped enough to create a 3D cone shape. I love this kind of flower. It sort of looks like maybe a tulip or a buttercup. Have you ever seen those flowers? They're here in Texas, the pink buttercups. But they're abstract flowers, so we're making up our own types of flowers here, which is super fun. Now, I don't know if you noticed this, but I held those two sides together with a wet glue for about 20 seconds to make sure it stayed. And I'm gonna add more glue after it stays together to then attach it to the piece of paper. So first, make sure your overlap sides stick, and then once they're stuck together, you can add more glue to the back of it and add it right to the top of your stem. Okay, now I'm gonna create a different kind of flower, similar to a daisy, and I'm going to do a circle in the middle, and then I'm going to do curved lines that connect, just like a daisy's petal, and you can make them as big or as small as you would like. You do want to probably make about at least 6, but probably 7 to go all the way around your circle. Okay, make that one a little bit wider. Now I'm gonna put lines down the middle. I'm gonna actually fold these right where those lines are down the middle. I'm gonna do the same technique to the leaves on the stems that I'm about to make. They're gonna look almost just like the petals with the line down the middle, and they're gonna be folded and attached to the stems. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut these out. As should you. And once you understand some of the basic ideas to create 3D flowers, you can be really creative and come up with your own designs, as long as they come off the page and look 3D. Any design will work. But do follow along with me so you can start to understand some of the simple, basic ways you can make your flowers look 3D. Now, you did not see how I glued that. I realized that. So I'm going to show you how I glue it, but I'm going to show you using these green leaves. It's the same shape with the line down the middle. And you'll be gluing these green leaves down to the stems the same way I just glued the flower petals. So that video was lost. But it's okay because I do the exact same thing here with these green leaves. So you can just set your petals aside, draw your leaves, and then you'll see I cut them out just like I did the petals. Now, see how I fold them in half? Go ahead and fold them in half and just set them aside. And you'll do the same thing to the petals. Remember, I'm just showing you this step instead because it's the same technique. You're gonna fold, and then once they're folded, then you're gonna glue. And if it doesn't line up perfectly to the line down the middle, that's okay also. So fold your little leaves, fold your petals too, and then you can grab your glue and add a line of liquid glue to the fold line on the back of the leaf or on the back of the petal, depending on which one you're doing right now. And go ahead and add them to your stems. Now, if you're doing your petals, try your best to keep it symmetrical so that the left side looks the same as the right side. And then when you do your little leaves, you can put them anywhere you want. And you can make as many or as few as you would like of those leaves. So you can see how I'm doing this here. I'm putting a line of glue right where there's that fold and then putting it just right down on the paper. And it ends up staying up off from the paper like a 3D leaf. So go ahead and finish gluing the petals down and your leaves. We're going to finish our 3D design of our flowers next week, as well as color in the background next week. But this week, we're just getting started. So do be sure to do at least 2 flowers this week and some 3D leaves. And also make sure you have your sketch of your vase. And once you're done gluing these things down, you can save this somewhere safe where it won't get smushed because the flower should be 3D. So save it somewhere safe for next week. And I will show you some new fun flower designs. Now, if you just really love it and you don't want to stop yet, you can go ahead and make a few more flowers, but save a few for me to show you because I'll show you some new kinds next week. Thanks for following along, everybody. I hope you're having fun. Bye now.